This lecture is about the feature importance method, leave one covariate out, or LOCO. And we'll talk about the definition of LOCO and its interpretation. So the idea of LOCO is, as the name already suggests, to leave one covariate out. So remove the feature from the dataset, refit the model on the reduced dataset, and measure the loss in performance. So this is quite similar to PFI and CFI, so to permutation feature importance and conditional feature importance, but instead of perturbing the feature of interest, we just leave it out and refit the model. So the definition is giving a training and test data set, train and test, some inducer I and a model F hat, which is fitted on the training data using the inducer I. We can calculate LOCO by learning a model on the reduced data set. So that's the train minus J. So that's a data set, training data set where we just leave the feature xj out. And that gives us the F hat minus J. So training with the inducer. And then we compute the difference in local L1 loss for each element of the test. So we take the target for each of the observations in the test data, and we get the model prediction of the model where we left feature J out and take the difference. So that's the L1 loss. And we do that again for our original model, and we take the difference and call that delta Ji. So J for the feature J and I for observation I of the test data. And the importance score LOCO J is now just the median of the delta vector for feature J. And we can easily generalize it to other loss functions or aggregation. So if we just use the mean instead of the median, then we can rewrite it as the empirical risk of the reduced model and the full model. And this is then similar to the permutation feature importance. Or we could also replace the L1 loss by the L2 loss, or we can generalize it to a classification if we choose a loss function there. So if we look at a bike sharing example, we see that we get a high value for the temperature and for humidity. And the interpretation is that if we leave the temperature feature out, then the MSE loss increases by approximately 140,000. So in difference to the permutation feature importance, we see, for example, that year is not highly ranked. So that seems to be meaning that year is important if we don't condition on the other features. But if we are looking at the increased effect, at the additional effect, which you get when we just leave the feature out, then it seems that the model can compensate the leaving out of feature year, but it cannot really compensate the leaving out of the temperature and the humidity. So for the interpretation, LOCO estimates the generalization error of the learner on a reduced data set, D minus J. So if we go back to our three interpretations goals, the first was feature xj is causal for the prediction. And in general, we cannot get an answer to that, but we'll talk about that again on the next slide, and same for the second goal. And for the third goal, so the model requires access to xj to achieve its prediction performance, we'll get an approximate answer to that, because the difference is for LOCO, the learner or inducer stays the same, but the model changes. So as soon as we leave the feature out and refit the model, it's not the same model anymore. It's the same learner, but not the same model. And that just is a small difference compared to the other feature importance methods. So let's look at an example. So we have 1,000 observations and we have X1 and X3 normally distributed. We have X2, which is very, very similar to X1. So see x2 is x1 plus some error, and that error has a very low variance. And our true target now consists of an effect of x2 and x3. And if we fit the linear model on that, we get about the correct effect for x3 and some strange effects happening for x1 and x2. That's again the collinearity issue. So we get two effects canceling each other out. So if we take the difference here and remember that these two are highly correlated, then we could just say this is about 1 times x2. And that would be correct. But the linear model can fit arbitrary canceling effects which cancel each other out because of that high correlation. So you have to be careful here. And if we look at the correlation matrix, we see that it's actually a correlation of 1 between x1 and x2. So if we now apply LOCO, we get a high effect of x3, so that's good. And we get a 0 effect of x2 and a 0 effect of x1. So that means we cannot infer the interpretation goal 1 from LOCO. So remember, 1 was feature xj is causal for the prediction. Because if we look at x2, then it has the positive coefficient of about 2, but the LOCO of x2 is 0. So x2 is causal for the prediction of the model, but LOCO cannot detect that. We also cannot infer 2. 2 was the feature contains prediction relevant information, because the correlation with x2 is about 0.68. So that's this value here. So, and also we see that in the true data generating process, x2 is important. But it's not detected by LOCO because LOCO is again 0. But we can get some insight into 3. So 3 was the model requires access to the feature of interest. But as already explained, this is then a different model. So because x2 and x1 are highly correlated, we get both LOCO values being 0 because they can just take each other's place. So if we leave x1 out, then the model will probably be something like x2 plus x3, which would be correct. But it would also give the same performance as this model. That's why LOCO for x1 is 0. If we would leave x2 out, the model would look approximately like this, which is wrong, but it would also give about the same prediction performance as this one, because x1 and x2 are so highly correlated. And because it gives the same prediction performance, then x2, the LOCO for x2 is also 0. So x1 and x2 can just take each other's place, and that's why LOCO is 0. So if we compare LOCO with permutation and conditional feature importance, then the advantages are that we require only one refitting step per feature evaluation. So that only, we see that in the cons, depends on if the model is very expensive to fit. LOCO is quite easy to implement, and there's a testing framework available in the LOCO paper. But on the other hand, as explained, LOCO does not provide insight into a specific model, but rather a learner on a specific data set. So that can still be useful, but it's just a different interpretation. And model training is a random process, so the estimates can be noisy. You could solve that problem by refitting several times. but or you might introduce some bootstrapping or things like that, but then you won't have this only anymore because it would be quite computationally expensive. And it also requires refitting the learner for each feature. So you save the several rounds of perturbations of P of I, but you have to refit, and this is especially computationally intensive if a model is expensive to train, but not so expensive to predict with, for example, as you have it with neural networks.